Welcome back. The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court has promised to continue improving the efficiency and effectiveness of the delivery of justice to the citizens of the Eastern Caribbean, even amidst a pandemic. Speaking of dealing with a pandemic, Chief Justice Dame Janice Pereira says that judge-alone criminal trials could be one of the solutions to alleviate the backlog of cases being experienced across every jurisdiction. Chief Justice Pereira delivered remarks at the opening of the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court's Law Year 2021 on Wednesday.
In my view, the time is ripe for all governments, in consultation with civil society, to engage in discussions on the implementation of judge-alone criminal trials for specific case types within the context and framework of the constitutional mandate of fair trials within a reasonable time. Judge-alone trials are not new in our region. This move has enjoyed much success in reducing the case backlogs in the neighboring state of Trinidad and Tobago, as well as in Belize.
While the courts did accomplish much during 2020, they were faced with many challenges throughout the year. Antigua and Barbuda and St. Lucia remain the jurisdictions with the highest caseloads by number.
The clearance rates from the high courts varied between 91% in St. Lucia and 30% in Grenada. None of the high courts recorded a clearance rate above 100%. This points to an accumulation of case backlog. Furthermore, on average, the overall clearance rate of member states and territories as a grouping continuously declined over the last 3 years and was at its lowest at 59% in 2019.
St. Lucian Attorney at Law Thaddeus Antoine said that COVID-19 merely presented opportunities to strengthen the judicial system.
The court has no doubt appeared to have, or rather is adapting with ease. The leadership, foresight, and investment of our Lord Chief Justice lay bare for all to see and indeed emulate. One may ask, was it fortuitous that we embarked on a project of taking the court fully online, from GEMS to the e-litigation portal? I say no. It was vision and the acceptability of the available technology to solve some of the problems that the court would have experienced with the inconvenience of storms and hurricanes, traveling with the many heavy boxes of pleadings and evidence, the missing file phenomena, and the pure desire to have a modern functioning court system. After all, if we cannot get our governments to provide us with suitable brick and mortar halls of justices, we might as well get the best virtual online courtrooms possible.
The theme for this year's opening of the Law Year was the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court's Managing the COVID Quake. 2021 promises to bring more training opportunities for constables of the Castries City Police Unit. Chief Brian Jawahir made the announcement on Wednesday.
Over the years, many have shared the view that the City Police Department had lost its spark, resulting in a lack of law enforcement in the city. But after its revamping in 2016, the department has seen much improvements, and the public is there to endorse it. The addition of the City Police Constables has brought a sense of security to those plying their trade in the area. Chief Brian Jawahir says in 2021, the officers will have more opportunities for training to enhance their skills.
We have supervisory training for our senior members of the team. We also have some firearms training. We have training for everyone in proper beat and patrol techniques. Also, we'll be embarking on some community policing with the Royal St. Lucia Police Force.
Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, city police officers have been praised in some circles for their part played thus far. Jawahir believes that the department has come a long way and that members of the public are beginning to pay them more respect.
We have really been at the forefront in the drive with COVID-19, as you're aware, and we have been highlighted several times in the media as to our actions, what we embarked on during the COVID-19. is still ongoing. We were one of the first team to the issuance of masks to persons. We implemented measures at the market. Besides the provisional market, the food court, we also had COVID protocols for the flea market.
The City Police Department promises to work closely with the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to make the city a safe space. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
The U.S. House of Representatives is closing in on a vote to impeach U.S. President Donald Trump. Top Democrat Nancy Pelosi says, quote, "He must go. He is a clear and present danger to the nation," end quote. In a new statement, Trump called for no violence from supporters in coming days. He is accused of inciting his followers to storm the Capitol last week. A House vote against him would pave the way for a Senate trial and possible removal from office. A growing number of Republicans have voiced their support for impeachment, but Republican Tom Cole urged others to vote against because he said, quote, "It's a flawed process that will fuel divisions." Now, also in the U.S., Lisa Montgomery, the only female inmate on federal death row in the U.S., has been executed for murder. She received a lethal injection at a prison in Indiana after a last-minute stay of execution was lifted by the U.S. Supreme Court. The case attracted attention because her lawyers argued she was mentally ill and suffered serious abuse as a child. The 52-year-old strangled a pregnant woman before cutting out and kidnapping her baby in Missouri in 2004. Her victim, 23-year-old Bobby Jo Stinnett, bled to death, but her baby was safely recovered and returned to her family. Montgomery is the first female federal inmate to be put to death by the U.S. government in 67 years. Her lawyer, Kelly Henry, said that everyone who had participated in the execution should feel shame. In a statement, she wrote, quote, "The government stopped at nothing in its zeal to kill this damaged and delusional woman. Lisa Montgomery's execution was far from justice," end quote. This is the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. We'll be right back.